Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest Zik nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Stone Titan album, Scratch-and-Sniff. This is the debut full-length LP of the Connecticut rock trio Stone Titan, who after a handful of years of DIY touring, doing some splits, 7-inch single, putting out some self-produced EPs and demos, they have stepped up to the plate with what I guess is an album. It's just about 28 minutes, maybe a little bit less if you cut out the string of time before the end of the last track and the secret track. I wouldn't quite call it an EP, but I guess it's a mini album. Either way, we have 8 tracks here, which are of a serious sonic extreme to the point where the band can be a little just heavy-handed, one-dimensional, but they feel completely aware of this and don't overdo it, which is sort of a breath of fresh air considering that a lot of bands that tend to go very slow and heavy also go pretty long and get a little indulgent. And Stone Titan is heavy, and they are loud, but rarely are they brooding and looming and just really... The band's approach to sludge metal is actually really noisy and chaotic and has sort of a punk ferocity to it. It's absolutely filthy as well. It's about as gutter as a rat carcass floating in a puddle of piss, with some pretty clear influences coming from bands like Buzzoven, Eyehategod, some of the earlier and more noisy sounds to come from the Melvins, maybe a little bit of Torches hanging in there as well, but without the pop sensibility, oh god, with none of the pop sensibility. And I say no pop sensibility because I think there is very little about Stone Titan's delivery and performance on this record that feels refined, and I'm completely fine with that. I like it. It's not like the playing on this album is loose though. The guitar, the bass guitar, and the drums are all very tight, but man, is the energy on this album wild and ruthless. So much energy is expelled into creating this just heavy, disgusting display of sludge metal that I'm surprised any of it is coherent. It's like Stone Titan is just going sludge metal Super Saiyan on numerous tracks here, with riffs that are just so distorted they feel burnt to a crisp, blackened by the sun, laying on asphalt, waiting to just be picked up by whoever picks up roadkill. That's exactly the vibe I get on the opening track here, I Wish I Was Fucking Dead, where the vocals, in addition to the guitars, are very loud and harsh in sound and sentiment. That's even more so the case over the track Groovy Warhead Commander, where the band has layered one vocal on top of another vocal on top of another vocal, a technique that the band also kind of does over the track Miles Away From Sober. I mean, it's really a lot of voices going Even though there is plenty of hate out there in the world, I like that there's a metal band that is leaving room for statements that are incredibly spiteful and borderline absurd with their over-the-top aggression and grossness. I mean, look at the freaking cover. It's a guy cutting his wrists and rainbows are coming out and all sorts of weird, disgusting figures hanging inside of the rainbows. It's not exactly like you could say the band takes itself too seriously when one of its song titles is Alaskan Thunderfuck. This absurd side of their character is something I would love to see emphasized in the future. Now, not only are the tracks on this LP fast and intense and heavy, but they have a tendency to run kind of psychedelic too, just shoving some really weird and abrasive details into the bassy muck that is displayed on a majority of the songs here. And some of these details can come through the way of guitar embellishments or drum fills, some feedback, weird vocalizations, and these can be expressed in a kind of pretty and melodic and blissful way, like on the song Alaskan Thunderfuck, or in an incredibly harsh and aggressive way like the track Can of Worms. And even though this structure does help the songs along and makes them interesting to listen to, I would say that Stone Titan is miles away from not only being sober, but creating some traditional kind of songwriting, which is fine. The trio really sort of concentrates a lot more on just pure viscera, which they do really well. And again, I commend the band for making an album that doesn't go too long long considering how hard and fast they go for much of this thing, but I still wish it was longer, but with a little more variety. Again, if a band was only going to be this direct, 25 or 28 minutes is a decent time length. And there is at least some semblance of variety in this very short display of extremes on Scratch-and-Sniff. I just think if they're going to come out with more records, and if they're going to put out longer records into the future, they should find at least some kind of alternative to their high volume mayhem, or at least find some other higher volume of mayhem that would make them even more fun to listen to. I'm feeling a strong 7 to a light 8 on this thing. If you've given it a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. This review is my opinion. If you don't like it, here's a straw. I want to give a shout out to OF Talk, Ant Live, Chris Ott, and Josh from REDSCROLL. Only the strong subscribe. All mistakes were intentional. Anthony Fantano, Stone Titan, forever.